All right, this is the May 2025 Achilles Connect Zoom. For those who aren't familiar, the Connect is the monthly opportunity that we all have to gather as one people, as Achilles Nation, centered in NYC metro region, but also the tri-state area and beyond, to hear about our past month's accomplishments and learn about what's coming up so everyone is in the loop and we are all connected, hence the term Achilles Connect. Today, I am joined not by my usual sidekick, Chandler. Chandler is actually handling something which I will talk to you all about here in a few minutes. I am joined by an old favorite, Casey. Casey, are you on the camera, right? Okay, you're on the camera. Casey does comms here at Achilles. You all know Casey. But Casey very kindly and graciously agreed to join me today to help me do the chats and all the things to make this Achilles Connect happen, because we try to make this happen on the first Thursday of every month. Doesn't always work out, but most of the time it works out. And I like to stick to that schedule as much as possible because routine is cool. So yeah, we're going to chat today about what happened in April, what are the cool things that happened, and what's coming up in May in terms of things to look out for, opportunities, expos, races, pancakes. That is a thing that's coming up. Yeah, pancakes, absolutely pancakes. I'm skipping ahead like 8 bullet points, but there is a awesome photo of me and another athlete, Dolphin, who might be in the chat. We ran the 5K last year, and then we went to this pancake thing. And there's a photo of Dolphin and I just completely like reclined in our seats, piles of food in front of us, stacks of pancakes. There may have been a hash brown or two. It was nuts. It was great. So if you want to figure out how to get involved with that, you got to stay tuned. So that's your incentive to stay tuned. All right. First thing is first. I don't know if y'all heard, but Achilles had the first grant program. I should say not the first. We had the first big grant program in the U.S. It's called the David Cordani Grant. There's a lot of names for it. You'll be hearing more about it. But basically, athletes applied. Hopefully, a lot of you applied. And as a news alert, people who got the grant will be notified here in the coming days. And so that's super cool. This grant, Achilles, we're all about workouts in the parks and reoccurring meetups and social connections and all that stuff. But we are also into getting people to the start line. And this grant is one more thing that'll help athletes get to start lines. So that's really exciting. Hopefully y'all be hearing again today, tomorrow, sometime in the next few days about whether or not you got the grant. That's very exciting. And one real quick reminder, if you have any questions, please just drop them in the chat. Casey's going to be policing the chat, and she'll be interrupting me when needed, which is usually when, what happens, regarding if there's any questions. So let me know. All right. Next thing, 2 weeks ago, there was this thing called the Boston Marathon. I don't know if y'all have heard of it. It's kind of a big deal. We had so many Achilles athletes participate in Boston. Boston is a little unusual in terms of the marathons that we do because it's a marathon that people have to qualify for, right? So as an example, for me, for example, I'm totally blind. If I want to qualify for the adaptive division, which is their open division, I have to run a sub-5 marathon as a blind man. If I want to qualify for the para division, which is their blind elite division, that's like a 347, 348, something like that. I forget, don't quote me on the number, but somewhere around there. So any athlete who's there qualifies, which is cool to begin with, right? Because that means that they would have had to run a marathon first. But it's always cool to see Achilles athletes take the podium. Casey, who do we have on the podium? Do you remember? Hand cycles.
Hand cyclists. We had two, male and female.
Male and female hand cycles. Sweet.
Joanne from our Washington, D.C. chapter. I don't remember her last name.
Yeah.
And Frida from our Achilles Freedom team. First
Wow.
place men's hand cycle division.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I totally sprung that on you. So good for you for actually knowing that. Like
her second marathon ever.
Joanne's second marathon ever, and she got first place in the hand cycle division. That is incredible. For those who don't know, we have, well, I would imagine you all know we have chapters all around the country and all around the world. But we, in the last few months, got a new Washington, D.C., I guess we're calling it DMV area chapter lead, James Murphy, who's absolutely awesome. He came up to Manhattan again a few months ago, joined us in our Tuesday evening workout. He's super cool. So he's running workouts now in DC. And I guess Joanne is one of his athletes, right? So very cool. Another thing that happened in Boston is that the night before, there was, which is very on brand for those who know me, there was an unsanctioned relay race that no one really knew anything about because half the people thought it was backwards on the course and the other half thought it was the normal way on the course. And there was, who knows what was going on. We didn't really have a clear start time. We like vaguely started around 4, but we ended up starting like 4:07. Like a lot of details were missing, which is very on brand. So that's cool. But we were the first relay team made up of athletes with disabilities to ever do this event called the Paul Revere Relay, which is a relay race on the Boston Marathon course from start to finish, but the night before. So the roads are still open. We're running on the shoulders of the, the main roads and on sidewalks and all that stuff. It was such a cool experience to be able to do that. Thanks in part to Hoka, who actually helped put the team together. And help sponsor the team. But that was a really cool experience. A little uncool part is I kind of twisted my ankle a mile from the finish. You win some, you lose some. And when we're not winning, we're learning. So, besides that super fun experience, we're debating on whether or not we're doing it next year or not. We'll see, stay tuned. But that is now something on my radar where, it's a cool opportunity to experience Boston weekend without actually running the Boston Marathon. So, hopefully we all qualify and go to Boston and all that, but this is another thing that is interesting to know about, which I had no idea. I didn't hear about this until about 3-4 weeks before the Boston Marathon. So that's super cool. And then finally, our last recap before we get on to upcoming things is this past weekend, it was the first time that our region had 3, I call them major events, going on all in the same weekend. So on Saturday, we had the indoor marathon relay, another relay, but this time it was in Washington Heights on the Armory track, where we had 3 teams made up of athletes with disabilities, and each team was responsible for running 26.2 miles, the marathon distance, on a 200-meter track. Each runner ran 3 times. We had athletes doing sub 6-minute pace. We had our most favorite walker athlete, Ruth, do Ruth's pace, and all put together, we did 3 marathons. All 3 marathons were under 4 hours, which was amazing. We've never actually been able to hit that goal at this event, which was, again, very cool to witness. I didn't run because of the aforementioned twisted ankle, but I got to stand on the side and cheer, and I made a little reel of me cheering at all my blind homies and some non-blind homies because inclusivity is a thing. That was a whole fun creative experience for me. The next day, Sunday the 27th, we had a bunch of athletes participate in the NYCRuns Brooklyn Half, which this is our second time doing it as officially as Achilles International. That was cool. And we had athletes do the indoor triathlon. It's part of the Mighty Man series, which they're most known for, Mighty Man Montauk, which is a Montauk triathlon in fall. This is obviously not the fall, it is in April, and so it is indoors. People swam in a pool and then they biked and ran outdoors. By the way, for those who know Sarah Heller, because who doesn't know Sarah Heller, this was her first, I don't know if it was her first time, but definitely first time in years where she was on a podium. What? She got on the podium. Very cool photos came from it. I didn't see them, but I heard they were really cool. And so big congrats to Sarah Heller. We had Chandler and Hector, who are on our New York City Metro staff, work the triathlon. We had Dominic, Emily Galati, and James, not James Murphy from DC, James Swinney from NYC Metro, work the New York City Runs Brooklyn Half. So again, great victories all around. Now we're going to move forwards to what's coming up. So first thing, all of you should have gotten an email about this. It's about the Abilities Expo that is starting tomorrow. It's May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Edison, New Jersey. this is a really cool expo, even if whether you want to volunteer, help Achilles out at a table, or if you want to just come and hang out and just walk around to the different booths. Last year, they had just three highlights for me. One was service animal parrots. That was epic because you got to like mess with these parrots. You like held these parrots and they'd like start talking to you. I was not quite sure what exactly their role was. All I know is that they were parrots trained to do something. And so that might be the goal for this weekend, is for me to figure out what the deal is with these parrots. But for all I know, that there were parrots in this convention center, which was cool. Second thing was this big vibrating plate thing that you stood on, and it vibrated you at certain whatever hundreds of megahertz frequency, and it started off really shaky, but then the frequency went up so high, you're basically standing on this buzzing plate, and when you got off, you felt like $1,000,000. Like it was great. Like it's supposed to do lymphatic flow drainage, something or other. All I know is it made you feel great. That was really cool. And then the third thing was adaptive rock climbing. They created like a rock climbing wall, and they had a whole bunch of different adaptive tools. And if you're an amputee, then different different feet, different foot attachments, different like hangers, like basically all different type of adaptive tools to help you climb, and so much more. So if you're interested in a little field trip, Edison, New Jersey, short drive from the city. You can also take the train there. And there is a Japanese market, which I'm a big fan of, called Mitsuwa, Mitsuwa, spelled phonetically, which is a fantastic little lunch or dinner spot to grab food on the way back. So if you want to make it, a little like first date, maybe not first, maybe like third date idea, you want to take your significant other third date idea to the Adaptive Abilities Expo, see if they're into that whole thing. And then if it's going well, you take them to Japanese food for dinner, get some ramen, get some sushi, drive back to the city. There you go. You're welcome. Perfect idea.
Brandon.
What's up?
Well, just to backtrack a little bit,
Okay.
I forgot to mention the amazing Achilles participants who went to the London Marathon last
Oh
weekend.
my God, London? What?
Thank you, Denise, for that. How could you forget?
Denise, I know. I'm sorry. My mind's in USA. Yeah, London Marathon. So many. Denise, major victory. Michael Anderson, big shout out, who also did London Marathon. Mauricio with Anthony Vanamassa. So many more. Aaron Mondello from Long Island. Just off the top of my head. Very cool. I've never done a marathon outside of the USA. So I think I need to remedy that next year. I think these athletes are inspiring me.
Yeah.
What do you say, Casey?
Yeah, get that ankle.
You gonna guide me? Let's do London next year. Any more questions?
Yes. How far is the expo from the Jersey Transit Station?
That is a fantastic question. Who asked? Who's asking?
Jacqueline?
Huh?
Jacqueline?
It's about a 10-minute Uber ride from the nearest train station, and that nearest train station is on the Abilities Expo website. So it gives you all the directions. You can kind of plug in where you're coming from on the Abilities Expo website, and it'll plug you in. The thing to look out for, Abilities Expo is a national expo series, right? So there's different locations. So I would just make sure you're looking at the Edison, New Jersey location. What else we got?
We got a lot of fans. Go Achilles, go Mauricio, go Denise. Everyone's pumped.
Okay.
But those are the questions. That's all we got so far.
Cool. All right. Besides the Abilities Expo, I, as a cyclist, apologize to all of you non-cyclists. This Sunday in New York City will be kind of nuts. It'll be like the New York City Marathon, in the sense that there will be a lot of closed streets and disrupted bus routes, because this Sunday is the TD Five Boro Bike Tour, which we will have approximately 100 people participate in, which is a great number. It's grown every year. It starts in Wall Street. It goes up north into Central Park. And then from Central Park, it kind of mimics the New York City Marathon route, just backwards, because you go from Central Park up into the Bronx, you come back down FDR, you go over the 59th Street Bridge into Queens, go make a couple loop-de-loops, go into Brooklyn, and then you end in Staten Island. So kind of similar to the New York City Marathon route, just backwards. and then you start in Wall Street. So it's about 40 miles, maybe a little more if you tend to swerve a lot while biking. Very fun. It looks like rain for basically the next 7 days. And so we will have a lot of drenched athletes arrive in Staten Island, which is okay because we will have 3 beautiful, amazing, big U-Hauls, sponsored by U-Haul, there to receive all of our athletes with dry clothing, if they remember to pack it, and some snacks and clementines. We love the clementines. We love the Fig Newton bars, and all that stuff. So that is Sunday, May 4th. Yeah, look out. I'll be riding. Your favorite Achilles athletes and guides, and even people from chapters around the country and around the world. We are now international. We have a few athletes coming who are outside of the US, who will be taking part in this relay, or not relay, in this bike tour. Okay, pause. Question.
Are there any tandem bike only races that Achilles participates in?
Meaning non-hand cycle, or meaning?
Are there any tandem bike? I think exclusively tandem races.
So, most events that are inclusive of tandem bikes are also inclusive of other adaptive biking devices, such as trikes, hand cycles, things like that, right? Because you'll have cycling races, Grand Fondo, century rides, things like that. And those typically will include, athletes with disabilities who need adaptive bikes. And so tandems are in the same sort of category as trikes and hand cycles and things like that. The only race that I'm aware of that is open for anyone to sign up for that has a separate tandem category is USA Cycling National Championships, where there is a tandem specific category, which I have done a couple times. It is super fun, but there's logistically a little more involved with that type of race. Cool.
Next question. When do tandem bike workouts start, and what are the logistics?
Yeah, so if you want to know locations, AchillesInternational.org/NYC tells you all the locations. Basically, most of where we have the bigger Achilles workouts, we will have tandem bike workouts. Saturday morning in Central Park, Sunday morning in Queens tend to be the biggest ones, but we also have it, Monday in McCarran Park, Tuesday in Central Park, Wednesday in Williamsbridge Oval in the Bronx, Thursday in Queens and Prospect Park, off on Fridays. So yeah, the short answer is NYC chapter page on the website if you want to check out the details. The long answer is you can email the email address that I am amazed I have not mentioned yet on this Zoom meeting, but I will mention probably many other times, is nyc@achillesinternational.org. If you want to email that, they'll get you sorted out. And by they, I mean most likely Chandler.
Next question. Is there a location for Access to Ride at Wall Street, and what time should we be there on Sunday?
Perfect. Yes, you should get there around 5:45, 5:30, 5:45 on Sunday morning. We will have volunteers arrive who are helping to unload all the bikes and stuff as early as 5. I don't think you need to get there as early as 5, but definitely get there by 5:45 because you need time to sort your bike out, fit all the things. Dominic needs to do the Dominic magic. You got to get settled, get your bib attached. Better to get there early than, get there late and need to be rushed and all that stuff. In terms of accessory drop off, we're going to be sending that out tomorrow, Friday, so that you have the whole day Saturday to set your ride. But it's the same. If you've done it in the past, it's the same exact street that shut down for us, Broadway Worth, and we'll send out the accessory stuff tomorrow. Cool.
Yes, and do we have a list of tandem bike races that athletes can participate in?
Email NYC. Email nyc@achillesinternational.org. Maybe put in like what kind of stuff you're interested in, right? Do you want to do a 240-mile coastal bike ride? Do you want to do a 12-mile road race? Like just a little more info, and we can sort you out.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Now for the pancake. Actually, no, before pancake race, I'm going to pump one thing. Since we've just been talking so much about tandem biking, just one more reminder / call to any guide who's interested in piloting tandem or learning how to pilot tandem. please get in touch with Chandler. Chandler's email is cfee@achillesinternational.org, or just email NYC. No prior tandem riding experience is needed. Ideally, you know how to ride a bike, and then we can just transfer that skill over to teaching you how to ride a tandem bike, which is basically the limo version of a bike, right? It's a stretch, it's a little more luxury. It's pretty luxury in my opinion. So yes, sign up, don't be shy. Tandem riding is super easy. I have even piloted, allegedly, I have piloted athletes myself. So if I can do it as a blind guy, I feel like you guys can do it too. Allegedly speaking. Allegedly, if I said that already. All right, now for the pancake run. We are doing, it's totally free, the best race ever. It's called the Rubin Run, and it is Sunday, not this Sunday for the bike tour, but the one afterwards, May 11th. It's free for athletes and all that, and obviously if you're a guide, it's free as well. But you should 100% sign up for this race. It's a 5K. Transportation is provided from Engineers Gate. We got our vans. We're going to be driving out. We're going to do this Rubin Run, and then we're going to come back. Not promising anything, but we may make a detour on the way back, allegedly. So sign up for this race. You should 100% sign up this week. I don't know when we are closing signups for this race, but because we're transporting people in vans, obviously it's space limited. And so we won't close it this week, but most likely next Monday or Tuesday, we will be closing this race out. That's Monday and Tuesday, May 5th and 6th, if you're watching the replay. And so sign up in, perfect question. Sign up in Rosterify race calendar. It's called the NYC events calendar. It's in Rosterify. It's how you sign up for any of our other races and how you see what's going on. If you have trouble finding it or accessing it, just email nyc@achillesinternational.org. But you should sign up for this race. It's very low key, right? It's small. It's not a Roadrunners race. So if you're into that, sign up. And that's May 11th. And that's the vibe. Are there any more questions, Casey?
I don't see any more in the chat, but if anyone has anything else, please.
We'll give people a minute before we shut it down. Yeah.
Question.
What's up?
Please hold. She's typing.
Oh, all right.
How do I get a guide shirt?
How do you get a guide shirt? All right. So if you're in NYC, which I'm assuming you are, but if you're on this thing, if you come twice, it's a guide training and a training session after that, you should have gotten an automatic email sent to you with a link and a code and all that stuff on how to order your free guide shirt. Now, if you've been a guide for us for a really long time, maybe you joined us before that happened, or maybe something happened wacky, who knows? So if you have any issues, same email address, nyc@achillesinternational.org. Just email, just ask the guide shirt, whatever, and we'll flip back the link in the code. But you should 100% wear Achilles yellow, because so whenever I train you guys in Central Park, the number one question I always start the training session with is, one, what's your name? And then two, how'd you hear about Achilles? And I would say about 8 out of 10 people heard about Achilles, or was made aware of Achilles by seeing the neon yellow shirts running in the park, running in races and all that stuff. So that's a really, really powerful awareness tool for us. So whenever especially if you're racing, but even if you're just training, sporting the neon yellow, super cool.
She did say she does have a Team Achilles fundraising shirt,
woo,
so she's
woo.
on it.
Oh, you have like the super special shirt. I like it. Okay. Yeah. Just email. We'll flip you back the guide thing. Maybe it got like bypassed because you're a Team Achilles. So send us a thing. Cool. What else we got? Casey.
I think that's it.
Here
we go.
Yep.
During the last guide training session on Tuesday, 3 of the 7 people signed up because they saw the shirts in Central Park at races. It worked. It's true. It works.
It's true. Absolutely works. I may say things that's questionable sometimes, but that you can take to the bank. All right, cool. Coming up, a couple quick things. We're going to be sending out a form, just trying to gather any special skills that people in our community might have. Maybe you're a former D1 swimmer. Maybe you've coached swimming in the past. Maybe you're a run coach. Just, skills that we may find useful. We'll be sending a format just a form out space in the middle, just to gather, what kind of expertise our community has. We have thousands of people sign up right now in the NYC region of Achilles. And it would be very cool to kind of quantify, right? Like, who do we have in the community that's willing to help, but that we don't know what their skills are so that they can help. So that's coming out. Look out for that. Again, sign up for Tandem training. And for all questions, if you ever have any questions, reach out to nyc@achillesinternational.org. And that's about it.
We got some more questions.
Oh, all right, cool. Questions.
So on picking up a rider bib for TD Five Boro.
If you signed up for the TD Five Boro Bike Tour under Team Achilles, as in you used our link and you used our code, all those bibs are being picked up literally right now, this second, which is why Chandler is not here, because she's at the expo. We have a big sack, like big Santa Claus, basically, with 100 bibs in that. And so that will be either in the park for you on Saturday between 8 and 12, which is when athletes can come and fit their bikes and all that stuff, or it'll be waiting for you at the start on Sunday at the Achilles meetup spot. If you signed up and you're not part of Team Achilles, I don't know how you found your way on the Zoom call, but the expo is on 5th Avenue and 38th Street. But again, if you're an athlete or your guide or anything like that, chances are we have your bib. It's under the Team Achilles. If you have any questions, send an email.
New York Roadrunners Brooklyn Half sign-up deadline is coming up.
Bro, the New York Roadrunner Brooklyn Half sign-up deadline was like 5 months ago. Now I'm playing. If you're a guide or an athlete who needs guides, that sign up.
Yes,
okay, all right, I see that. I'm just playing with you. I'm just playing with you. I'm feeling extra sassy today. So if you're a guide, yes, that is coming up. It is typically 2 weeks before the race. If you are a registered athlete, you should be getting emails from them telling you, please register your guides, please register your guides. If you need help with a guide, Denise, I know we have one guide for you so far. So that's being sorted. But besides Denise, if you need a guide, let us know, reach out. And yeah, that's a super fun race.
And this one actually is from Benice. I don't see 511 race on the events calendar. Looking on Rosterify now. Rosterify shows past events. I don't see upcoming events.
We will troubleshoot that, Benice, and we'll also send you a link to that race.
And Johnny is looking forward to Hope and Possibility.
Woo,
Me
woo,
too.
Woo. Yeah, I need guides for that. I just realized I actually don't have guides for Hope and Possibility, so I should find myself a guide or two. Maybe I should email NYC@achillesnational.org and see who Chandler finds for me. I don't relish being them because they have to listen to my jokes for about 4 miles, and that could be a very long 4 miles because I haven't run much lately. So,
all right,
all right. It's been real, folks. Again, first Thursday of every month is the Achilles Connect, 4 p.m. Tell your friends. And until next time, I hope all of you have a fantastic beginning of your May. See y'all later.